evening and welcome to Teacher Talk Tuesdays. This is your host, Dr. Yvonne Henderson, and what I'd like to talk about is the last day. This is the last day of school, and this has been a year. I'm telling you, been a year that has been like no other. I can truly say this has been a learning experience for me, dealing with the COVID 19 and having to go to remote school and remote learning and being quarantined for 3 months and not being able to get out as much as you did before. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm a road runner. I will go at the drop of a hat, and to have to stay in has been good. I've gotten a lot done. I started my podcast, so this has been awesome. Enjoying this. So, bringing this year to a close has been wonderful. I've written two books, the ABCs to effective teaching for effective substitute teachers, that can be found on any platform: Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, discount books, Walmart. So wherever you find books, you can find that book. And I am actually releasing my dissertation tomorrow as a resource or a reference book, an investigation of training certified substitute teachers and what the substitute has to say about what they need to be effective in the classroom. So I'm really excited about the things that I've done during this quarantine and being home and having the time to actually do some things. So it hasn't been a bad year. It's actually been a great year. And to be able to self-publish and not have to worry about paying someone else to do it for me has been awesome. To be able to launch my publishing company, Transitions Publication Publishing. So it's awesome to be able to bring this year to a close on a high note. I'm actually looking forward to next year and starting off the school year, and hopefully with a positive note. There were some issues that transpired that weren't so good, even though I had only been there about a month. But, sometimes we just have to be able to take a stand. And it brings me to the George Floyd situation, the racism that we have to deal with as Black America and society, and everywhere that we go, we're always seen as a threat to someone because of our ability to do things, or just our appearance, or our demeanor, or our presence can stir up some things in people that allows them to want to take a back seat or to actually try to activate their privilege. I talked about that in an earlier podcast, education, privilege versus the privilege. So we need to look at how some people feel privileged, or entitled, should I say. So that's what it was: titles versus entitled. And we still have to deal with that. Even as a Black woman and having a doctorate, I still have to deal with people wanting to challenge me and my position and what I know and what I don't know, or what they feel like I don't know, or it's just a mess to have to continue to deal with those things even in 2020. But as you can see with what's going on in the news right now, racism has never gone away. It's always been there, and we'll always have to fight harder for our respect than any other culture or any other race. We've always got to fight harder. We've always got to present better. We've always got to be more prepared than the next one. It's a shame that we're still in that society and we still have that mindset that we have to fight through to deal with. And we wonder why our children are not doing the things that we expect them to do because people don't want them to. We have to continue to fight to get them to even be in the right mindset to even want to go to school. We have our Black young men who are always pushed down or talked down to. So, ever since I started in the educational field, I've noticed that by third grade, our young Black men are going to be set aside or set up to be tested, to be ADHD, to be pushed into a position where they want them medicated because they can't handle them. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen over and over and over again in the educational system where they're targeted to be a certain way and they try to collect data to make it seem like it's really happening when it's really not. I actually had him do it with my own son. When he became a third grader, they did the same thing. They sent the paperwork to his stepmom to fill it out to show that he was he was hyperactive and he was ADHD and he needed to be put on meds. And I told him I refuse to sign those papers. I refuse to submit it. I refuse to even entertain the fact that you thought my child was ADHD because you didn't want to deal with him, because you wanted to label him. And I had to actually set aside and stop his dad and his wife from filling out their paperwork. And I'm like, we're not going to do this. This is not what we're going to do. There is nothing wrong with my child, and I'm not going to say that there is. I'm not looking for a check. I'm not looking for any of that, but they have stigmatized our children for so long, and us as a people, we have gone through some things for a long time, and it has to end. Not only is this the last day of school, but this needs to be the last day that we deal with mess. This has to be the last day that we sit back and do nothing. This has to be the last day that we allow racism and bigotry to rule over us and to hold us down. This has got to be the last day that we sit back and do nothing. We cannot continue to allow this to happen. So in this being the last day, please let this be the last day that you stay quiet. Let this be the last day that you keep your mouth closed. Let this be the last day that you don't stand up for yourself. Let this be the last day that you don't speak out with boldness. Let this be the last day that you allow someone to push you around. Let this be the last day that you are bullied in this society. And with that being said, this is your host, Dr. Yvonne Henderson, and you have been listening to Teacher Talk Tuesday. And if you'd like to leave a comment or if you'd like to give some more information, you can reach me at teachertalktuesdays@gmail.com, and that's TEACHERTALK, the number 2 UESDAYS@gmail.com. And again, thank you for listening to Teacher Talk Tuesday.